Before we get into the video, explain yourself, MH Blackie. What is this goofy Rhino build I stumbled across on your helmet tier list video? Huh? Rest and Rage is an ability that you seldom see used outside of niche cases like stealth farming. People tend to use Rest, which is the night variant, more than Rage itself, simply because Rage is really a double-edged sword. Leaving Rest aside, I will be using Rage only in this video, which is setting your primary emissive color to bright colors. You can cast this ability on an enemy within 50 meters, and enemies within 5 meters of set target will be affected as well. Both scale with power range. And pay attention to the following sentence. Enemies will take 50% more damage, but move and attack 20% faster in return. You can now see the problem. Enemies move faster and deal more damage is not worth for a lot of frames, as it makes frames that has bad survivability worse and lowers those who had good survivability. The damage amp it provides is very potent, but who could sustain the cost it brings? Maybe one singular frame who not only can just mitigate it, somehow benefits him as well. And you know who it is? I guess you already see the title, so you already know who it is. Okay, let me cook. Iron Skin, Rhino's second ability, in short, is an ability that either you know how to use it wisely or just playing bad with it. Has a form of scaling called enemy damage scaling. Any damage you take in that 3-second window will be converted into overguard, along with the base skin value itself. Rage makes enemy hit faster, and this will convert into a better skin charge than normal. You can see where this is going. You might say that,
oh, now your skin drop faster with all enemies hit faster.
But if you do your daily Rhino gameplay wisely, there is no such thing called lower survivability, let alone only a decent portion of enemies affected. It is really just higher overguard than usual and higher sustainability if you can read the benefits hard. With all of this out of the way, what kind of weapon builds that fit this subsume well? Personally, gas builds are kinda crap with this. Raw already amps gas DOTs, but we can ask for more. Gas against armor alone is kind of weak because there is no amping from viral and raw. But now with Rage replacing viral to some degree and raw simply exists, you are up to some good cooking. You don't need to worry about elemental weighting much too. You don't need to care about balancing between gas and viral procs that much with Nourish for maximum DOT output, which allows all-in on gas damage for maximum proc rate. You can mess this around yourself, but I can show you some worthy candidates. Warframe build is the same throughout this video unless I specifically mention the change of something. This is probably the one you would want to take reference from. Sharp combination as well, though it is subjected to personal preference. Focus group wise, choose whatever you like. The first candidate today is Tenet Glaxion. To be honest, gas Tenet Glaxion kinda slaps. This one seems to be the exception, like the few others. You can get good KPM with this. It is just some odd build that you can have some fun with. Nothing much to say. Gas Paris Incarnon, obvious choice. You did probably see more billion amounts of such builds on YouTube or whatever place you saw it already. It is more reliant on tile sets, but with good tile sets to help you funnel your enemies into the clouds and them moving faster towards it due to Rage, as if you can position yourself in a way that they will run into the gas clouds. You can achieve record high KPMs that is not possible with set weapons. Gas corufell with Melee Crescendo and Vaseline Focus School. This is more of a specific setup that is not really friendly in terms of cost. But it is a fun build nonetheless. Not the best out there, but definitely worth a try, I guess. You can hit quite the insane damage, but you will need to wait the combo to charge back up to 12x or something near that. Last one is Steflos. Since I did corufell already, might as well go all in, I guess. Guess it's not very suited for this weapon. Thus, I go with traditional corrosive hit build. It shreds things, hit go burn. It is what you would expect when rage and raw exist at the same time. Generally a fun gun that needs a bit of pushing. Notably Arcane Avenger and some buffs. Not the best gun in this world, but it's not like it's the worst, lol. Guess that's the Warframe community moment for you. This ability is a good Acolyte busting ability as well. You can Rhino Stomp and Acolyte first, make sure your raw is active, cast rage on them and use whatever weapon you task for them. They will die with quite the speed as well. It is rare to see such buffs like this work on them, so abuse it if you see them. Feel free to test it out with other weapons you had in your mind. I will just pave the path for you and you shall do the discovery. Let's talk about the downside of Rest and Rage. While it is quite potent, there are some downsides that involves around enemy interactions and gameplay. If you want to play this build, should you keep these in mind. This ability cannot affect overguarded units and demolist. Rage cannot be applied onto the aforementioned targets when set condition exists, making this ability quite weak against them. You obviously can play around overguarded units by casting it when their overguard is down, but unfortunately, this ability simply cannot work on demolists. It requires a lot of casting and active maintenance, possibly ability spam. This downside varies a lot. If you don't mind casting abilities a lot and active maintenance, this is not really a downside, but if you do, this is something that you should consider. So that's all for today. If you really enjoy what am I doing, feel free to do the not so mandatory like and subscribe, maybe comment as well if you had something in mind. Like I said, feel free to mess around with what I showed just now. There are not guidelines you need to follow, but to inspire you to mess around yourself. See you all next time. Goodbye.